Yo, what up guys? I hope everyone's having an awesome day. Today we're going to talk about the truth of what's better, Succession Hashashin or Awakening Hashashin, because I feel like a lot of people coming in the channel and they're just like, oh, Suck is better. But listen, I've been playing the class since Global Lab, so I really did extensively test this at all DP levels and all gear levels. And this is more of a gear matter as well. There's also a lot of tidbits that people just aren't really talking about. They just kind of want to lean one way without actually testing stuff. So we're going to get into that. Before we get into that, I want to show you guys what I've been up to for the last few days, the Star's End. So here you go.
Let me take you for a ride, dancing with the lights, our hearts beating like a drum tonight. Let me take you for a ride, for a ride.
Hello? Oh my god, my game's lagging, that's why. I literally used escape and just teleported back to where I was just a second ago.
Box down. I'm on the valve. Box dead.
Coming.
Guardians grab.
Feed. Nice.
Yep,
Catch. He's over here. Probably on the rocks.
Okay.
Right here. Got him.
Alright, I have my slow up. Good shit.
We could chase the sun tonight. Let me take you for a ride. Tonight. Let me take you for a ride, for a ride.
Yeah, 23,000 trash. 2 distos. Low distos for the amount of trash I grinded. Guys, I'm kind of feeling like the distortion whisperer right now. So, in 4 hours, 24k trash, okay? And 6 distortion earrings. Yeah, we're kind of gaming right now, so we're gonna go sell this really quick. Be right back. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into the beef of the video. We're gonna talk about Succession Hash versus Awakening Hash. Now, always guys, remember that gear does matter. So pretty much from my understanding, I already know that when most people tell me that Suck Hash is better, they most likely are not fighting people that are above 660 to 700 gear score, and I can tell you why here in a second. I currently have 297 AP with my pre-awakening, and I'm 289 AP with my awakening. So I have a pen open, and then I have a Tet Dandy, right? I'm going to be going for Pen Dandy really soon here. What you guys have to understand is that Succession Hashashin, all it really offers is burst, okay? Now, burst is good in certain scenarios. However, burst doesn't necessarily mean that you do more damage. If we're going to talk about overall damage, Awakening Hashashin does a lot more overall damage compared to Suck. All Suck offers is a really quick way to throw some damage in, and that's about it. Now, the issue that you're going to have with Succession Hashashin at the higher gear levels is that once you start fighting people that have at least 360 DP, that have evasion, and to 400, you're going to start noticing that Succession Hashashin will not be able to 100 to 0 people in SH rates, because all Succession Hashashin is pretty much a gimmick. You're pretty much relying on throwing in quick damage. You're not applying CCs because you can't. Most of your CCs are just unsafe, if not all. All you really have is Shift E. I mean, no one's going to really get CC'd by that unless they're really just not paying attention. That's the big issue you're going to have with Suck. even when you're trying to one combo somebody at the higher gear level, you're gonna notice that your class won't be able to one combo people, because it's not because of the damage. Like, the damage on the skills it has is actually fine. The burst is great. The problem is that you burn your cooldowns in an instant. All your cooldowns are gonna be gone, and you won't be able to finish people off. Succession Hashashin also has a really easy barrier to get into the class. It's super easy to get into, and it's really easy to play. A lot of people, they go into that and then they go, oh wow, this is easy, I can kill like 3 or 4 people just by doing 2 or 3 buttons. So, you know, I think Succession's better, but like, that's not really true. At the end of the day, you're going to have people that have higher skill floors, ceilings. People that master the class can really bring out the true potential. Now let's go ahead and talk about like Awakening, and like why I prefer Awakening, and why I've been using Awakening since the Global Labs days, right? Because I tested this way back then, and now that I have the pen open, even though I have higher AP with my pre-Awakening, I still do better in my Awakening in PvP for large scale, 1v1s, and even small scale. And the reason for that is simply because of the fact that Awakening Hashashin is non-stop pressure. What do I mean by that? So even let's talk about the mobility, right? So Succession Hashashin, it's pretty much, you're gonna do like your double slicer, right? You're gonna do your little iframe, and then you're gonna go into your piercing tornado. You're gonna iframe again, and then you're gonna LMB, and then by the time you do all that, your stamina is usually gone. Like, it burns stamina really quick. Awakened Hashashin is just like non-stop go. Like, for example, see what I'm saying? Like, Hashashin has some sustained mobility that Suck can't really do. Like, Awakening Hashashin, you can stay on the move. So when it comes to like the mobility, Awakening is just a lot more superior, mainly because you have more mobility options with Sin Splitter, and then you have cancels with that, and then you have Paradise Surge. So a lot of that just gives you a lot more mobility options in general. The other reason why the mobility is superior on Awakening is that you actually are a little bit more protected in your Awakening. Succession revolves around doing Sand Slicer cancels and repeating the same movement and spamming it when it's off CD, which usually results in less protected movement. So when it comes to a large-scale environment on Suck, you can find yourself getting CC'd quite a bit through your movement. It does happen on Awakening Hash too, but it happens a lot less. So when it comes to mobility department, you're a little bit more protected on the Awakened Hashashin. Now we can talk about the engaged and CC potential that Awakening and Suck, you know, it gives. So the big thing about Suck is that you're able to cancel Air Assault. So that's your block jump. You guys know that's this, the E. So you can cancel after the first hit, and then the whole like recovery animation you can cancel with the iframe. That doesn't make it fully safe. You can still get CC'd plenty out of it. At the end of the day, it's still an unprotected CC. Awakened Hashashin has protected CCs because of the bond skills, and then it has a Purge Cancel that Succession doesn't have. So the one big thing for CC on Hash is Sin Splitter. Sin Splitter has no collision. It goes right through people. It breaks through frontals. It's like an OP spiral torpedo. I mean, you can walk into a group of 5 people, do this, and they can all get CC'd right here. And that is an instant bounce. So in terms of CC potential, that's already a lot better than your E, because E is unsafe. The other big thing that Awakening has that Suck really doesn't have is the Purge Cancel, which I didn't really talk about in my Hashashin guide, because it's more of something new that a lot of Hashashins found out after the fact the class is offered a bit. So Purge is your pre-Awakening skill that does this. It's a float. Now in hindsight, that's really unsafe, right? But there's 2 ways to cancel into it that make it a lot safer. So for example, so that gives me an extra iframe after the float goes off, so it makes it safer. So it's kind of like a Sork's reverse Grim Reaper's Judgment in a sense. I can also do it after Ridge Reaver. So you're gonna get stuff like that on Awakened Hashashin. Top of everything that I just showcased there, and all that good stuff. You also, of course, have your E. You still have your Shift E if you ever are going to get a CC with that. And one thing I really like doing on Awakened Hashashin for CC potential is, so this is definitely risky, and this is actually pretty good on Suck Hash. So you can do your Shift F and then do Piercing Tornado, for example, right? Now, Suck Hash can actually instantly cancel Piercing Tornado when you jump onto somebody. With Awakened, I can angle it to the left or right so that it doesn't end anywhere near them. So it's still like okay. I can go like this, for example, and then end somewhere else. And that can sometimes clip people's backs. It works the same way that Musa's Sword Blind Thrust does, where when you do that, it's going to clip people's backs pretty hard. So it's a decent risk to take, but you do have to be mindful of how you use that skill. Another gimmick that Awakened Hashashin provides that Suck Hash doesn't, in a sense, a really good trading potential skill that is just good if you get the CC off. So what I'm talking about is just Shift F into Condemnation. So Shift F is unsafe, but if you cancel into it and go straight into Condemnation, it's actually a really good bursty trade. So for example, you can do this and kill a lot of people. That does a lot of damage right there. Just that one trade right there, it does a boatload of damage. So the basis of the way you have to play with Awakening Hash is that you have to really know what you're doing. It's a hard class. I'm still getting used to it for large scale, but when you do pull off the plays, this class will instantly delete groups of people. It has a lot of damage. Of course, you have this skill too, which Succession doesn't have. I like to call this skill Sand Incinerator. You can't just throw it out. The good thing about Hash is that if you do have a lot of DP, you're a really tanky class, which is a really good plus for us. So sometimes when people are CC'd on the floor, I can just straight up go in with this and it does a lot of damage. It really deletes people. It's really hard hitting skill and it's one of our best AoE nukes. But I mean, in terms of like speed, because a lot of people complain that Awakened is slow. In a sense, you could say that, like, the mobility is really fast, but then when you do your skills, they feel a little heavy, right? But in general, if you do pair everything up really quickly, you can definitely burst people on Awakening really fast. Like, I'm talking like, you can really burst people all you want really fast on this kit, you know? Like, you can cancel everything, like, really well. In terms of, like, the cancels that Suck provides, a lot of people prefer Suck because you're able to cancel a lot of your big skills, which is also true on Awakening. You can also do that, but still people complain that. And again, it's more of, like, a lack of people not understanding of, there's so many cancels on the kit. So, something I found out after the video is, after my guide video, of course, is that when I'm doing ensnaring, if I'm about to get hit, I can actually instantly teleport back with my F. And that's an iframe. You're not going to get CC'd out of that because you're going into super armor into an instant iframe. It's like a get out skill. So for Awakened Hash to work, there's a lot of pre-set up conditions you have to do on habit to make this class play a lot safer. Anytime before you go in and engage, you got to go like this. A lot of micromanaging. And then before you go in, dump this out. So in case you're about to get dived, you just, use your F to get back. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's a lot of min-maxing, right? You have to really know what you're doing. Click on your tornado, right? F, boom, you're out. So there is a lot of cancels with the kit. It's just that you're going to have to get used to it. At the higher level, Awakened Hashashin does provide a lot more consistent damage because unlike Succession, I can keep throwing my damage out. Let me show you what this looks like, okay? Like, Succession Hashashin can't keep doing this. So the fact that you have this will let you know that you can keep throwing damage. And this is all super armor. Like, nothing they can do about this, right? It's all super. Those are my reasonings to why Awakened Hashashin is better than Suck, because yeah, Suck offers burst, but Awakening Hashashin does overall more damage as a whole. Can still burst people just fine, but the big thing is that it's hidden behind a huge skill ceiling. So as I said, I don't recommend it for newer people or people that aren't willing to put in the time. Even to this day, I'm still learning how to large scale better, but I think I'm close to like getting to where I want to be on the class. But it is hard, you know. It's not easy. I don't like the whole bandwagon thing. People really did bandwagon Suck, and it's not better. It's really not better. It's just easier to. Yeah, those are my reasonings for Awakening's better. If you guys have any questions down in the comments, feel free to ask. But yeah, Awakened Hashashin offers the same damage, more overall damage, more trading, doesn't run out of gas necessarily, and it can cancel all of its important skills. So, yep. Got any questions? Let me know down in the comments.